good afternoon. It is Friday afternoon. Last night I had another tricep session. I'll get into the numbers shortly. I did add 5 more pounds to the bar, so thumbs up. The momentum is continuing on the rebound, and I'm going to continue to ride it for as long as I can and be as greedy as I can in the gym and try to get as much weight on the bar as possible. Before I get into the numbers, I want to talk about two Japanese terms. Toyota uses them. They're part of their principles. Toyota has principles on how they run their business. And these two terms, I like them. So it's Kaizen, which is continuous improvement, and Genba, at the place that it happens. So for Toyota, that means they're looking for continuous improvement on their factory line, their production line, where they make the cars, how they make them, how they can be more effective, minimize waste, and deliver a great product to the customer. They also will apply those terms, like Genba could also be the financial center or customer service center, any part of the company, the place where it happens. So for me, I've been taking the mental side a lot more seriously since last August, let's say. And so I have a goal of I want to be able to read for an hour a day and meditate for 30 minutes a day. And I've tried in the past to change habits or behaviors by the cold turkey approach or the complete 180. I'm not doing this, so now I'm going to do the opposite and pivot. And sometimes that's worked, but most of the time that doesn't work for me. So what I'm doing is every week I'm adding 1 minute to my reading time, and I'm adding 1 minute to my meditation time, and I'm tracking it. And this is my training notebook. I have a different notebook that I'm tracking that stuff in, and I'm tracking it the same way I'm tracking my training, which is progressive overload, slowly adding more weight to the bar or more reps every session, always making progress. I'm doing the same thing for the mental training by adding a minute every week until I get up to my goal of 1 hour of reading and 30 minutes of meditation every day. And 1 minute seems insignificant because it's not that much. It's 60 seconds. It's not that much time to add every week. However, after 20 weeks, I just added 20 minutes to my reading time and 20 minutes to my meditation time. And that's a big, big change over time. And that's what Kaizen and Genba represents, is insignificant, almost meaningless progression towards a goal. Eventually, you'll hit that goal and have a big outcome. And so I'm training my brain the same way I'm training my triceps, my biceps, my pecs, just slowly adding to the load over time until I reach my goal of being able to read for an hour a day and meditate for 30 minutes every day. Because to me, if I can do that, then I would say I'm a mentally tough person. I heard that Jam say that once, that if you can't sit and read a book for an hour straight without getting distracted or getting up, you are not mentally tough. Which was tough to hear because I thought, yeah, I'm a mentally tough guy. Yeah, you tell me I can't and I'll show you I can, and blah, all that, that bullshit that especially young men are taught growing up. But after thinking about it, I was like, yeah, I agree. That is tough to do, to sit and read for an hour straight if you haven't been reading a book. And but I think it's important. It'll teach me patience, be able to focus more. I'll learn something from reading. It'll also it's a lot less stressful than watching TV or other activities. It'll help lower cortisol. Should help with anxiety, stress, and especially meditation, being able to clear my mind If I could clear my mind every day for 30 minutes, that would be pretty damn good. And so that's what I'm working towards to help recover so that I can bench press more. However, I've noticed that as I'm doing these things to help me bench press more, they're carrying over into my personal life, and I'm starting to see a benefit in my relationship with other people, my relationship with myself, and so the motivation is to bench more, and it's starting to translate into my entire life. And so I'll be working towards that goal, and I think it will pay dividends in the bench press, and then also continue to pay dividends in my personal life. So Genba and Kaizen, you can Google them. I think they have 13 principles. Toyota does. Okay. So let's get into the numbers. Last week I started with 250, did it for 6. Felt fairly easy on the 6th rep, so I went up to 255 and did 5, 4, 4, 3, 2. That was last week's session. This week I started at 255 and I did 6. Felt the same as last week, that I need to go up in weight, so I went up to 260 and did 5, 4, 3, 3, 2. The chain weight was the same, 2 brown, 1 purple, 1 blue. Which let's say is 104 pounds of chain at the top. As the lift goes on, it gets heavier. So, halfway through the lift, I guess it would be 62 pounds of chain. And as it goes up, the weight would keep going up. But at the top, say 104 pounds of chain. So next week, going to start at 260. And if I get 6 easily again, I'll go up. If it's a tough 6, I'll probably stay there. Actually, if I get 6, I'm going to go up regardless next week, just to continue the theme of grinding out reps and keep that training phase going. So another good workout. I added 5 pounds. Excited to see on Monday how that translates to my bench. I'm going to go do some back and biceps and abs, weighted abs today. And then I'll have about 72 hours to recover before my bench session, which will be more than enough time to get rested and fed up and full of water, and hopefully a little bit more bloated, and have another good bench session like I had last Monday. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Tuesday.
You okay? Yeah. Get back. Is that a little too much? Kind of like, that's a oh, good. All right.